Now, if you had a $500 product and you sold that to 2,000 people, that is over $1 million in revenue. Online business, starting a business online and starting a business offline, what are the differences and how do we do it? You know, like, one of the things I would like to say is that starting a business online is actually very, very easy. All you have to do is know how you can transpose your skills, and your skills are basically anything that you can create more of to gain an outcome. And I'll explain it really simply. So if you're new to this channel, by the way, guys, please subscribe. I am a solopreneur, entrepreneur. I'm a social media influencer, but I'm also an author. I'm a director of many different companies, but I also was able to go from having like literally no money, being completely broke, being homeless at one point in my life, to attaining, you know, a decent life. I live between Canada and the UK, and I basically teach people all about autism, but also I can help people increase their income and build sales funnels and all that kind of jazz. I actually work for many companies building out sales funnels, but I wanted to talk about specifically about all of the things to do with if you're wanting to set up your own business online and you want to earn money, you want to monetize something online, right? You're seeking a 9-to-5. How do we do it? And the very simplest way is to write down a list of everything that you are good at, right? So what's your skill set? Are you good at drawing? You got a skill for drawing? Are you an artist? Are you good at talking to, I don't know, people about insurance? Do you have experience in, you know, real estate? What is it that you know that you could teach somebody, right? That's rule number one. That's the first step. And then the second step is finding some way to package that up in an educational format. So for me, for instance, I do a course for people to start a YouTube channel, right? And so I teach them how to set up the YouTube channel, how to do the thumbnails, how to do the, you know, the tags, the meta tags, all that kind of stuff. And then I charge them for that. And that is pretty much what I do. Because what happens, and a lot of people fall into this myth, is that they have this idea that you have to charge for your time, right? But if you're charging for time, if you're like saying, okay, give me X per hour, what's going to happen is you're going to end up only being able to work a finite amount of time. You can only really do like 12 hours a day before it gets ridiculous, right? But what you need to transition in is to having information, so a product that's information, and putting that information out and selling the information, because that's one too many. So you sit down once, you record an information piece, or you write out a book, or, you know, you script an audio program, and then you record that, you have it, and then you sell it 1,000 times. Let me give you some numbers here, guys. If this is going to get your juices flowing, I got to tell you the numbers, I got to tell you the figures, I got to tell you how we can do it. If you had a program which was $500 per person to buy, which is not an awful lot of money, right? $500, yeah, it's a lot of money, but what I'm saying is it's not an awful lot of money. It's not like millions, it's not like hundreds of thousands. Now, if you had a $500 product and you sold that to 2,000 people, that is over $1 million in revenue. I'm gonna put the sink plugs in, boop, boop. So, $1 million in revenue isn't too shabby, nothing to be sniffed at, and is an extremely decent return on maybe an hour's worth of investment in creating a course, right? So I'm just gonna open my garage door. So how do you do it? Well, there is a framework. There's a framework that I've done for this. You can actually go to the link in my bio, and there will be a download where you can download the actual like the walkthrough. I walk you through it like step by step, telling you how to do it, how to host it, all that kind of stuff. In the process, you need to do this, but this isn't rule number one. But if I'm starting if I'm starting a business from scratch, the first thing I need to do is create a point where I can collect email addresses. I need to collect people's email addresses, because if you don't collect email addresses from potential prospects, potential clients, potential people who are going to give you money to teach them something, then how are you going to contact them to buy the thing in the first place? So rule number one, you need to download email addresses of potential clients from somewhere, somehow. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know what it is that you want to offer, but you need to offer something. I'm going to cover this in another video more in depth, but I can give you an example of how I do it. So in my other business, my autism business, I coach people on autism. I sell coaching and courses on autism, right? But one of the ways in which I gather their email addresses of the people or potential people who want my services is that I offer a free download book. And this free download book is just on it's just on a website splash page. And then what happens is the people go to my splash page, they'll download my book, and then I have their email address. And then I can email them and say, hey, I know you got the book. I hope you liked it. Would you be interested in, is it something that you would want to do where you'd want to be a part of my, program that's coming out, my coaching program. I've got a group coaching program of like 20 people coming out. Would you be interested in that? And then they'd probably be like, oh yeah, maybe. And I think, to me, if I was to typically set something up from scratch again, I'd have to just think, okay, I'm going to offer something for free. If it's a book, an audio program, a phone call, an advice podcast, like what could it be and what would it be? And that's what I'm going to do. So that is how if you're like, I want to start an online business from scratch, I have no idea where to go, this is exactly what I would do. So the question is, what is it that you can offer people? So you need to make two offerings, okay? One is going to be a free download, something that you can give away for free. You can offer somebody something free. It could be advice, phone call, podcast, video, ebook. And then the other thing is going to be something that you could then sell as a service to help fund your business. But there's a rule here, guys. There's a big rule. The rule is, if you're offering something for somebody, it has to be of higher value than the price they pay. So if somebody's downloading something for free, it can't just be garbage. It has to be good. It has to be good information. It has to be relevant. It's going to change something in their life. It's going to give them an outcome. And the same, when you're selling a product, if you're selling a $500 product, then you need to be giving $5,000 worth of information in there. There's got to be 10 times what you're putting in, because it's not about making money from people who are never going to come back to you. It's about making a profit from giving people something that's going to change their lives, right? And it could be anything. And why this is apparent, why can't you just, you could just make a fluff course or a BS, ebook and put it out somewhere. But what does that do? It actually doesn't do much. What it actually does is it creates a negative experience with that person, and they're never going to come back, and they're never going to buy from you again. Why would they? Why would somebody come back and buy from you if the first time that they had an experience with you, it was garbage? You gave them snake oil, which, if you don't know what it means, it basically means selling them something they don't need. It doesn't work. Like, there's no such thing as snake oil, right? And then they're never going to come back. Versus, imagine you gave them a product. The first thing you gave them was like a free product, and they liked it so much that when you offered them to buy a program from you or a course or whatever it is you're selling, then they go, wow, I had so much value from the first one, this is only $500, it's got to be worth it since the first one was amazing, right? Then they buy in. Imagine then coming back to them and being like, hey, I'm actually doing a coaching program or a VIP experience or an event, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to be part of it? Well, their experience this far has been amazing, so they're going to say yeah. And there's a bigger picture, and I'm going to do a whole series on this channel all about this. This is what this channel is entirely all about, and every video is going to be like a vlog, very informal. So you can ask me any questions, and I'll answer all the questions in the next video. So you can drop me a comment down below with any questions. But the videos that I am going to create are going to be on building out a sales funnel. If you don't know what a sales funnel is, it's basically like how you take a prospect from being somebody who doesn't know who you are, right down to being potentially somebody who's going to pay you a lot of money to be in your VIP group, or like a big product or service or an event from you. And you kind of go through all the stages, but there's a lot in there. It's like how the pages are set up, what they look like, what kind of stuff do you offer, how do you offer it, and that's really important to not only the success of the funnel, right, but also the journey of the person, the customer who's taking that journey, or the potential customer who's taking that journey. They want to have a good experience, a good journey. Again, it's all down to many factors that play a role in everything that you do. Now, if this is something that you're really interested in, I'm very excited to teach you this. So I'm going to teach you all about sales funnels. I'm going to teach you about selling live, if you're doing like a webinar, how you sell somebody, how you phone somebody, how you sell them over the phone. I've got a small video series that I'm going to be dropping soon. It's just like a one video of how, I call it a series, it's all in one. It's how I went from literally having no product and no prospects to running past some chains here in my local area in Ontario, and then looking and saying, how could I service this business with the knowledge that I have, right? And I take you through that process. I'm taking you through that process. I'm going to release that. That's happening next, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. And it's a really good video. It's only about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes long, and it's really good. I show you the exact process, what I do, how I set it up. All the tools are free, so it costs me no money to set it up. My mission here is to get you set up and making money online by trading the things that you know, your skill set, but without investing any money up front. This is going to be good, and I'm very excited about it. So remember to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and comment anything you want me to answer in the next video. I'm very excited. My name is Dan. You guys have been amazing. This is my first ever video. All right, peace.